Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a clear afternoon, school's in session, and then this phrase you hear from people on the ground. Fire from the sky came down.
Chillin'.
Just chilling. That's how many describe this, well, this profoundly tragic event in Bangladesh, July 21st, 2025.
Yeah.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into the sources around that crash. A Bangladesh Air Force training jet, an F-7 BGI, happened at 1:06 p.m., and it crashed directly into the Milestone School and College building in Uttara.
Right into it. And what the sources really bring home is how this wasn't just, a military accident report. It quickly became this story about bravery and community.
Absolutely. Our mission here is to go beyond just the headlines, look at the details, the heroism we heard about and how people reacted, together.
And that reaction, it started almost instantly. That grassroots response, even before official channels were maybe fully up to speed, it shows something really core about community resilience there.
It does. And that immediate impact, you mentioned it. Devastating. The sources are quite stark. Classes were happening.
Ongoing, yeah.
The jet hits the building, fire starts on the roof, and then spreads fast into classrooms that were occupied.
That detail is critical, spreading into occupied rooms. It wasn't just the impact zone.
No. And the initial numbers, just horrifying. At least 19 people killed.
And over 160 injured reported initially.
Yeah. And witnesses describing this terrifying sound, and then instantly smoke and fire.
The speed of it. A normal school day, 1 second, and the next.
Yeah.
It's just chaos. A desperate situation unfolding in moments. The sources really paint that picture.
They do. And right in the middle of that chaos, this incredible story emerges. The pilot, Flight Lieutenant Emlyn Tukir Islam.
Ah, yes. The pilot's actions.
Incredible bravery. The reports detail his last moments. How he was clearly making this determined effort to steer the plane that was already burning, mind you.
Right, while it was on fire.
Steered away from the more densely packed residential areas nearby. He's being hailed, quite rightly, as a hero for that, sacrificing his own life.
That's an extraordinary act, isn't it? I mean, the kind of decision-making under that immense pressure. It's not just flying a damaged plane.
No.
It's making an active moral choice, choosing the least catastrophic outcome while facing certain death yourself. It speaks to, training, obviously, but something deeper, too, a moral compass.
Do the sources give any more insight into how he managed that, or what specifically informed that choice?
They mostly focus on the outcome, the trajectory, the areas avoided. It points very strongly towards a deliberate sacrifice, but the why, it seems rooted in that sense of duty, perhaps.
Perhaps, and the human cost, of course, immense. Families losing children, kids losing classmates, teachers.
Unimaginable grief.
Yeah, and it wasn't just local. This tragedy, it sent these deep ripples across all of Bangladesh, so much so that the government declared the next day, July 22nd, a national mourning day.
And that declaration is significant. It shows it wasn't just seen as an Uttara tragedy or a Dhaka tragedy. It was framed immediately as a national loss.
A shared grief.
Exactly. A way to formalize that collective sorrow and maybe begin the healing process together, a statement of solidarity.
So, faced with that shock, what did people actually do right there on the ground in those first hours?
Well, the sources really highlight this immediate, almost instinctive collective action. Calls for unity went out straight away.
Focusing on practical things people could do.
Yes, exactly. The immediate needs were clear. Urgent calls for blood donations.
Right.
Mental health support was flagged as critical right from the start for everyone affected: students, families, witnesses.
That's important.
And also, crucially, stressing the need to share accurate information. Trying to cut through the noise and potential misinformation that always swirls around events like this.
Yeah, that's always a factor. And specific calls to action.
There is a specific plea mentioned for people in Dhaka, the wider city, to check with local hospitals, see how they could help provide assistance, blood, maybe other supplies, volunteering time.
It really highlights that spontaneous resilience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That impulse to help when something awful happens in your community.
It really does. It's like ordinary people become first responders themselves. They see a gap, a need, and they just step into it, often well before the official systems can fully mobilize everywhere. It's powerful.
It is. So as we reflect on this, the fire from the sky, the terrible tragedy, but also the heroism of Flight Lieutenant Islam and that powerful community response,
Yeah.
it leaves you thinking.
It really does. This deep dive, it makes you contemplate something, doesn't it? In these moments of just sudden, overwhelming disaster. What is it in us, in the human spirit, that pushes us beyond just mourning?
Yeah.
That compels us not just to grieve, but to, well, to unite somehow, to act,
Yeah.
to find these pockets of heroism, both the huge sacrificial kind and the everyday helping kind, even when faced with something utterly unimaginable.